Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be breaking into the worst tanks in Blitz. I have made a lot of videos talking about the best tanks in the game, but usually I refrain from making videos talking about the worst, because why would you play them? Well, in today's video, we're going to be breaking into the three worst tanks in the game. And without further ado, we'll get straight into the third place position, being the Rammer. The Rammer is a pile of crap. It looks cool. Like, I'll give Wargaming credit. It looks cool. It's this Mad Max style abomination of a car mixed with a tank. Unfortunately, it actually has nothing good for it. Its aiming time is terrible. It has mediocre pen values for a tier 7. Its accuracy is mid. It doesn't have high damage per shot at 350. Its armor is trash. In fact, I think any tier 6 will cut through your armor without even struggling. The tank has a hatch the size of a freaking mountain, which you will easily pen. And when you add all that together with the fact the vehicle only goes 34 kilometers per hour, it's literally a joke. It's called Rammer, yet it doesn't ram anything. This is a tank that really got me irritated when Wargaming released it, because not only is it a pile of crap, but it was also set behind a $200 paywall that you literally couldn't get your hands on unless you gambled for it. It really was, and is, one of the biggest wastes of money that Wargaming has thrown into the game. Anybody that owns this tank and has spent more than $5 on it, I honestly feel bad for you, but at the same time, I don't know what to say, because I did make a review on this tank when it was released, and I said it was the biggest pile of crap ever. Thankfully, I have not seen too many of these tanks. In fact, I've only seen like 2 or 3 of them ever. So it's not a very common occurrence to run into it, but man, is this tank a pile of crap. It's just so bad. I mean, as I said, it looks cool. It's just unfortunate that Wargaming put zero effort into actually balancing it properly. So we got 2 Draculas on the side over here, and, well, I'm hoping that they'll poke, but looks like that's not the case just yet. I mean, they are poking, just not me. I guess we'll move up. I don't really know what else to do. I mean, they got the WZ in the back, can't really hit him. Problem is, I'm the only one here. Like, if you notice, I'm actually the only one in the spot. Well, we'll get a nice shell into the Helsing, but yeah, like, what is my team doing? Apparently nothing. Well, I'm just worried if I move up, these 2 Draculas are going to absolutely nuke me. Not able to get a shell into you. And let's see, Helsing's all the way in the back. Got the T-77. Oh, well, I could have shot that, but whatever. Draculas are going to run. So, yeah, great team so far. I guess we can wait right here. There you go. Nice shell. Pretty good stuff. We'll move up a bit. We got a Blaze in my rear. Okay. Well, we reload. 3, 2, 1. We actually have the Dracula all the way in the back. And, well, my average damage being 350 evidently did not love me there, as we only rolled 335. We got a couple seconds left, and maybe we'll be able to get the clear into the Helsing or something like that. I mean, this is a winnable game, but our team is not doing a very good job. I don't want this AMX to have a shot. Okay, he still does. Incredible. The fact that that AMX saw me is so cringe, bruh. Well, we have the WZ. Can't see him. AMX is in a spot that I can't counter. This is pretty tragic. Thankfully, the AMX has decided to move. So I can back up at least a little bit and put myself in a teeny bit of a better spot. Let's see, is the AMX going to keep crossing? 3, 2, 1. Take a quick blind shot. Don't know if it hit, but I don't think it did, because we didn't get spotted. Well, we got our Vindicator moving up. We're going to reload, and there's the Dracula. We're not going to be able to hit the Dracula. Oh, there's the Helsing shooting us. Interesting. All right, well, let's see. I mean, literally nothing's going on here. Well, let's just aim it on the Helsing. We'll load in a high explosive. No. Wow. This is a truly engaging battle. Not really at all. We got the WZ on the flank, and WZ does get shot. We have a ROM Panzer. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Well, we lost 402. And, oh, yeah. The armor on this tank is really something special. Ooh, and the gun it's great too. You can see just how good the armor is with that T-77 cutting through my turret with literally zero effort at all. Well, we got the Dracula flanking. We do get a 350 damaging shot into the Dracula, and we can see that incredible armor of our tank getting us some bounces here. Let's reload again, and let's test this armor. Oh yeah, we're gonna get a bounce. Yeah, the rammer just sucks. If the armor did anything, it would be a decent tank, but the armor doesn't work. If the gun was good, it would be a decent tank. If anything about the rammer was remotely good, it would be a decent tank. Unfortunately, the only thing the rammer has going for it is the looks. It looks cool. Like, I will say, it is a cool vehicle in that regard. But looks don't mean everything, and I'd much rather drive literally any other Tier 7 over the rammer. Even the Tier 7 that makes it into the second place position. Because the rammer itself has nothing unique about it. The gun is not good. The armor is not good. Nothing's good about the tank. However, the Vindicator, while is a big pile of crap and is literally one of the worst tanks in the game, it at least does have some capabilities. 2,740 DPM, 640 damage per shot, 270 mils of heat. Like, the Vindicator can chunk in certain games. If you play on Himmelsdorf or Dynasty's Pearl, and you get a townside engagement where you are able to bleed people out, the Vindicator can actually do rather good. The problem is, the tank has 2 degrees of gun depression, it has no armor, and terrible camo values. It's mainly the 2 degrees of gun depression that screws the tank over, though. Not just the 2 degrees, but the fact that it's a big frickin' box, which is not only very poorly armored, but incredibly easy to pen with high explosive. If Wargaming wanted to leave the Vindicator with 2 degrees, the front of this tank should be literally impenetrable. At least apart from the hatch. That's what I think. Unfortunately, that is not the route Wargaming chose. They chose the let's make the armor only like 150 mils thick on the front, meaning that every single Tier 7 and Tier 8 will pen you. And then let's also give it heat, and HE. That way you can't pen anything that has spaced armor, and you can't cut through a little wooden fence post because your shell's going to break on it. Yeah, absolutely tragic. The Vindicator, as I said, at least does have decent damage per shot, though, which means you can get out some pretty nasty results when your heat shells pen. I mean, that was a 688 damage shell right there, and that absolutely demolished that T-29. It can be a rather devastating tank. So let's aim it on that T-29 again. We'll take a blind shot right about there. I don't know if it penned, but it looked like it hit. But yeah, I mean, you can see where the Vindicator does have some merits. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's a big pile of crap. But the problem is, it is a big pile of crap. Because the rest of the Vindicator's capabilities are terrible. As I said, 2 degrees of gun depression. That right there is our gun depression. That's it. 2 degrees. It means that literally any time you are required to shoot something that is on a slight slant, you will not have the ability to hit it. It's tragic in that regard. Like, it's absolutely tragic. Now, what I'm hoping is that the Skoda decides to poke, but it looks like that might not be the case. Nah, Skoda got shot. Okay, well, right now we play the waiting game, I guess, because not much is going on. But we'll aim in an HE on that Skoda and get an easy high explosive pen for 300. We're actually doing decent in this game, and it's because I'm not relying on the gun depression. We're actually able to use this gun at distance, where it can do a decent job, and, well, there you go. Another nice pen into that BZ there, up to 2,400 damage. I'm just happy I'm actually getting a decent result here. As I said, like, it's not awful, at least in the gun department. You can get decent bleeds out. It's just sad that everything else about the Vindicator sucks. Also, we've been getting really lucky with our shots here. I'm very surprised we've managed to hit all these shots we've fired so far. Well, we got 4 seconds left on our reload, and this Tornvon is poking. However, we are not able to high explosive pen him. Let's see if the Tornvon pokes the SMV. He is going to, and we'll shoot at the turret. Wow. Every shot I have fired has gone where I've aimed, which is incredibly surprising. I mean, this is not a tank known for the accuracy. It's 0.45 dispersion, and yet we have hit literally every single shell where we've aimed. What the heck is going on? I mean, I'm not going to complain. When I get good RNG, I am quite the happy camper. It's just unfortunate that the good RNG I get is on a tier 7, which is absolute trash. Well, I mean, we did a good result. 4,200 damage. As I said, like, the Vindicator you can have decent results in. And because of that, I do find it fun when I play in it. It's just really unfortunate that it is so limited by the map that you play on and the way the gun depression works. Now we see that the SMV Contra Cara 64 is all the way in the back, and we are going to aim it on this tank. Hopefully I can get a decent bonk. I would really actually like to be able to get one more shell out. So let's aim it on this vehicle, and... as I said, heat only. It does kind of suck in that regard, because you're never going to be able to cut through track wheels or spaced armor. That's the other problem with the tank. It has only heat. If it had AP standard, it would be so much better. But it doesn't. It only has heat. But man, our RNG works surprisingly well. 4,265 damage dealt. Only a second class, probably because the tank is for sale right now and a lot of people are playing it. But yeah, there you go. Top on the team. So, we've talked about these two tanks. I think both the Rammer and Vindicator you can have decent results in if you're an okay player. Like my Rammer has 2,000 average damage and 80% win rate, and my Vindicator has 22 games with an 80% win rate and 2,400 damage. It's obviously low tiers. It's tier 7, and it's very easy to do well in tier 7. But this next tank, while I do have probably, again, decent stats, yeah, 2,800 at, well, I've only played it twice, so I guess that doesn't really count. But I can tell you hands down that the Quetzal is the worst tank in the game. Hands down. There's no debates. There's no arguments. I don't want to hear anything in the comments. This is the biggest pile of trash that Wargaming has ever released into the game. The Quetzal has decent levels of penetration, and the DPM's not awful. The gun actually isn't bad on the tank. Like, I don't hate the gun. What I hate is the tank. It is slow, reaching a top speed of like 30-ish kilometers per hour. But it also has terrible traverse. In fact, I'd be willing to say the worst traverse speed in the game. When you pair the level of traverse this vehicle has with the fact that it is literally a square that is freaking huge. Look at the size of this thing, bro. That is an E10. That tank is the size of an E100 behind me. And yet we are larger. Look at the size of this tank. It is a joke. And when you pair that with the traverse speed and the fact that it has 0 armor, it's a joke. The lower plate on this tank is incredibly weak. Not only is the lower plate weak, but the side scraping capabilities are terrible because it has these cutouts on the side that you can pen. And not only that, the turret is weak because of the way it's designed. And the hull has weak spots because of the way Wargaming put these little goofy angles on it. So literally everything about this tank sucks. It doesn't have good armor. Its mobility is probably the worst you'll find in the game. And when you pair that with the fact the vehicle's gun isn't anything impressive, it is just trash. We can see the top speed here chilling at a whopping 30 kilometers per hour. Oh my god. Well, at least you feature 7 degrees of gun depression, so you got that. We are going to have to make our way up this hill, and we'll see if we can get some damage out into these players. We can see that the enemy team has all gone up, and, I mean, I don't blame them. The only reason I didn't go up is because this tank is so freaking slow. I thought maybe, just maybe, I'll catch somebody off guard, but unfortunately, that's not the case. So we're going to make our way behind the Gravedigger. Wow, a whopping 264 damage roll there. That's a keeper. Well, we're going to aim it on the Gravedigger again. There you go. Wow, 255. 340 alpha, guys. 340 alpha. And we rolled 250. This tank's traverse speed is something else. Let's see what our roll is this time. Ooh, 313. How many shots can we get in a row that don't roll anything? Now, I don't think that you will do awful in this tank if you know what you're doing, but I think that it's just the worst tank in the game because of this mobility. Look at it. Look, this is full traverse speed here. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, Wargaming? Who, like, look at this. This is full traverse. It's trash. It's definitely the most unenjoyable tank I've driven in a very long time. I mean, look at the mobility. And the armor's not good. Like, if the armor was really, really good, I would understand at least the aspect of bad mobility. But the armor isn't good at all. So I am seriously lacking to understand why you would ever drive this tank. Nice high explosive into that G-Sor, though, taking 1,000 of his hit points off, or 1,000, sorry, 400. I don't know why 1,000 came into my brain. The G-Sor's backing off, and he's obviously a goner no matter what, which means this is a pretty easy result so far. Let's get an aim in on, well, I guess we can clear his tank. There you go, 140. All that's left is the Forest Witch. Well, let's see if we can get some damage into the Forest Witch. Just give me a moment. Gotta roll around this corner and turn my tank a bit. Hoo-ah! Oh, yeah. Well, we got one pen into the Forest Witch. Look at this thing's mobility, bro. He pens me once. Will he pen me in a face hug? That's the question. Well, we got another pen into his tank, 356. And let's just aim towards him. What are you doing, you goober? Well, I don't think he's doing much. The fact that that Forest Witch actually has pretty good armor is surprising. He must have dumped his reserve shell. That's my guess. I don't know what he's doing. He thinks he's going to get like a bounce, but yeah, I don't know about that one, bro. Either way, there you go. That's the 3 worst tanks in the game. I know, people are going to go into the comments and type, but $3, you did good at these tanks. Yes, I'm a good player, so therefore, it's not that surprising when a good player does well in bad tanks. There are many tier 10s that I don't enjoy driving in the game, and yet I still do very well in them. And that's the same thing for tier 8. The Quetzal may be a pile of trash, but it doesn't mean you will do awful in it every game you play. Same for the Vindicator, or the Rammer. All these tanks can do well if you actually have decent results placed in front of you. So, while I did well in at least 2 of these tanks today, I can tell you that they are not good vehicles, and I would recommend highly to stay away from getting your hands on any of them. If I would say out of the 3, which one at least is the most fun, it's the Vindicator. They're usually fairly cheap. In fact, I'm pretty sure the Ultramarine tanks are available right now, if I'm not mistaken. Well, they were. They are not in the store anymore. But either way, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!